So in this video, we're going to talk about compositions of transformations. So basically, we're combining two or more transformations, each performed on the previous image. So where we picked up last, we do the next transformation. So a glide reflection is a combination of a reflection and a translation. So we glide it and reflect it. A composition of two isometries is still an isometry. It's not changing its shape or its size. So it's keeping its, preserving its angles and its distances. So let's go ahead and do, first we're going to take this image here, in example 1, and we're going to rotate it 180 degrees about the origin. And then we're going to reflect it across the y-axis. So you can use the rules if you want to, or you can just perform those with patty paper and then with your Mira or whatever it is that you like to do. I'm going to go ahead and put the rules here in case you like those. Rotating at 180, negative x, negative y, and then reflecting it across the y-axis is changing it vertically, so negative x, y. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to do it more of using the rules. So my first one is going to be negative 4, 1, just changing both of the signs to be opposite. And so I'm going to go ahead and graph that one, and then I will do the reflection after that. So here it is graphed, and then you can either reflect it just over the y-axis here and go, this one is 1 away, so this one has to be 1 away with distances, or you can apply the rule, and you're applying it to these points, not the original where we last left off. So now we're going to change the x to be opposite and keep the y what it is. And so those would be our new points if you want to do it that way. Or again, you can kind of do, this one is double prime. So it's however you want to go about doing it. But you do need to make sure you either memorize those rules or you can do it kind of without them the way that you like to do it. And this one was K. And there it is. So it rotated 180 and then it reflected. So looking at our Royals logo here, starting here at our original, and then it looks like it's moving this direction. What would be the single transformation if we were going to go from this to this? How would we go from B to B double prime there? Would that be a single transformation? So is it a slide? No, it's not just sliding. Is it reflecting? If we reflected that, no. So it has to be that it's rotating. So it's a rotation, and it looks like it's a rotation clockwise of 180. So looking at example 3, if we were to take this P, reflecting it across the P and then reflecting it across the Q, what is the single transformation that would move this design from here to here? Hopefully you're thinking a translation or a slide. And it would be double the distance, so it would be 10 centimeters if it asks you how much. Any translation or rotation is the equivalent composition of two reflections. Okay, so a translation, that's what we just did. Translation was two reflections when it's going across the intersecting lines. So let's move to this last example, or second to last example here. If you want to try this one, reflect it. That would be this one right here is going to be our reflection. across the y-axis. And then this last one, those points are going to be the translation of moving it 3 to the right and down 6. So go ahead and try that and then check when you're ready. All right, double check if you did the rule, it was negative x, y. So these are your coordinates, and then the pink was the first just reflection over the y-axis. And then the next one was translating it up 3, right 3 and down 6. And that is in the green. So we always go from that last transformation to the next. So double check those. And then let's take a look at our last example. So we are looking to see on this last one, what happens if we multiply, as it's saying right here, the x by 2. Is that going to change our figure, or is it just going to preserve its distances and angles and keep it the same shape? So let's go ahead and take a look and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply times 2, so that's going to give me a negative 6. Take this times 2 and that times 2. So the y's stay the same, but our x is getting multiplied by 2. So let's go ahead and plot it and see what happens. So 6, that's negative and negative. Man, there we go. Let's fix that. Negative 6, negative 2. So left 6 and down 2. There we go. And that's A prime. Negative 4, left 4 and up 1, B prime. And 10, negative 4 is C prime. So is this the same? And hopefully you're using a straight edge. Mine does not have that software in this. So you can definitely see that that did not know. The triangle is not congruent to the pre-image. Triangle's distance has changed. It's not congruent to pre-image. So multiplying it does change it, but when we just change its location, moving it left, right, up, down, we add or subtract numbers, that is what keeps it the same.